Hello. In this video I'm going to talk about the HAL class register and give you a few tips about the kind of thing you have to think about when you're setting up the different classes for your club. Because we're talking about the class register which comes under the administrator, the first thing we have to do is log in. So here we go. So I'm logged in, open up the class register, and as you can see there's nothing in it at the moment. This is a completely blank copy of HAL. I have put in no classes, no boats, nothing in the race schedule. So first of all we have to think, what classes does our club need? The club I'm talking about is a fairly typical dinghy and cruiser sailing club. We've got a selection of different kinds of dinghies, some of which race under handicap and some of which race as level classes, and we have a fairly good menagerie of cruiser classes. Now the first thing that we sail quite a lot of is lasers, so let's put in a class for the lasers. Here we go, new class, and let's give it the flag L, and this is the laser class. Now we actually have both laser standards and laser radials sailing from our club. So when they all race together, we actually race them under handicap. So we give them Portsmouth Yardstick handicaps. But some of the time we actually separate the lasers into the standards and the radials. So we need two other classes for those. So let's add the standards first of all. Here we are, new class. Give it the flag S, and this is laser standard. And they will race level because they're all the same type of boat, and another new class for the laser radial, and again they will race level. Now another type of boat that the club races a lot is the Flying 15, so we need a entry for the Flying 15 class. Here we are, and they will race level. And we also have a dinghy menagerie class, so let's add those in too. So here we go, new class. We'll just call those D for dinghies, and they will race as under Portsmouth Yardstick. Similarly we have cruisers, so we have a fast cruiser class. Let's put that in. Let's call that flag 1, and we'll call those the fast cruisers, and they will race under Portsmouth Yardstick. And we have similarly a slow cruiser class. Let's call that class 2, and again they race under Portsmouth Yardstick. And sometimes all the cruisers race together, so we need an all-in cruiser class. All cruisers. And again they race under Portsmouth Yardstick. Now let's suppose that some of the keener cruiser class members have gone and got themselves IRC certificates, and they go away and do a fair bit of IRC racing at other clubs. Now this club has decided that it's not actually going to run IRC races as such, but what it will do is recompute the results of the fast cruiser PY class using IRC handicaps as well, and it'll do that using a tandem series, which we'll talk about in a later video. But because we want to be able to produce another set of results using tandem series, we will need a class for that. So let's put in an IRC cruiser class. And that will race under the IRC handicap system. Then finally, the club sometimes holds fun races for everybody, all dinghies and all the cruisers, and so we need a final class which everybody will be a member of, which we'll call the all-in handicap. and that will be run using Portsmouth Yardstick. That really is about all there is to the class register. It's one of the simpler registers in HAL. The only other thing that you can do, we've now got our list of classes. We could sort them in different ways, sort them by flag for instance, sort them by the name of the class. In the Tools menu there's just two things, which is select all those classes that don't have any boats in them. Well, since we haven't put in any boats, they all have no boats in them. Similarly, we haven't put in any series, so they've all got no series for them yet. And we can print our list of classes. There we go. If we need a list to put on the notice board, there's a list of the classes. And that's all there is to the class register.